extremely disappointing to see that Facebook continues to refuse to accept its responsibility towards our democracies by refusing to pay the fair share for Canadians to get local news and independent, rigorous journalistic content.
I want to show you the devastating side effects of Justin Trudeau's shakedown of social media companies. It's putting Canadian lives at risk and has resulted in the deprivation of the dissemination of information Canadians need when they need it in a time of crisis. The Northwest Territories is burning. Over half of the territory's residents are under evacuation orders and are currently being absorbed by communities here in Alberta. It's a scary time, and people's lives depend on quick access to information where they consume the information. And a lot of times where they consume it is Facebook. People need to know about evacuation flights. They need to know about road closures. They need to know about how and when they can get to safety and where they should go to find it. But Justin Trudeau has tried to extort money from social media companies to bail out his enablers in the mainstream media. His new law, Bill C-18, forces social media companies to pay news organizations when a link to their content is shared on a social media platform. Think about it this way, because that's kind of confusing. It's like making the paper boy pay the newspaper company for the privilege of giving you the newspaper. Doesn't make any sense, right? C-18 is called the Online News Act, but in essence, it prevents Canadians from getting news online. Because in response to Justin Trudeau's shakedown, Facebook's parent company Meta has cut off access to Canadian news, preventing links, videos, and articles from being shared on Facebook and Instagram. And that has very real-world consequences besides denying Canadians the ability to consume information in the way they want to consume it. Trudeau's meddling in a system that wasn't broken so he could line the pockets of failing news companies with big tech's money is putting Canadian lives at risk. I want to show you this interview with Global News and Yellowknife's mayor, Rebecca Alty, talking about the evacuation of her city of 20,000 people. Look at this.
And just quickly, I wanted to ask you, we know information is critical during an emergency, but with Facebook and Instagram removing access to Canadian news stories and links, are you worried at all about how you're getting that critical information out to residents?
Yeah, it's definitely been an interesting time with that legislative change happening. We do have great local media, and I know residents are going right to those web sources. The territorial and city, myself, we've all still got the Facebook, but it does have an impact. Residents not being able to share stories. I can see that, but folks have been really good at just consulting the news sources directly and the websites.
Well, thank you again so much for your time, and we're hoping for the best here. Stay safe.
Thank you.
You can see the journalist in the clip tried to set this up as just an arbitrary decision by Facebook and Meta to drop Canadian news content. But Mayor Alty rightly, quickly recontextualizes the problem as a problem with the change in legislation, which it is. Meta is only reacting to Trudeau's poorly thought out shakedown. But even as our cities burn, and people struggle to get the information they need on social media, Trudeau is not backing down from his control of the internet. You see, his friends and allies in the mainstream media need the cash more than Canadians need vital information. For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn-Reid. To sign our Rebel News petition calling on Justin Trudeau to end his shakedown of big tech and his attempts to control the internet, please go to stopthecensorship.com.